Good evening. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers. I'll start with the verse 118, Psalm 118:23. This is the Lord's doing, it is marvelous in our eyes. A little background about myself. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I still have the accent. My dad was 17. He married my 16-year-old mom, and to say he stepped up and took responsibility is an understatement. He was a house husband while mom waited tables and realized it was time to find a job to support his family. Dad joined the New York Police Department at age 19, retired 20 years later at age 39, and then worked as a West Palm Beach sheriff for 10 more years, full retirement at age 49. The rest of his time he played golf. As the oldest of four, Dad always taught me I could be anything I wanted to be. He taught me to ride a bike, drive, change a tire, how to change the oil, and the love of golf. Dads do make a difference. I met my husband Stan in 1974, and we were married in 1975, the year New Life became a church. In 1981, we visited New Life, recommended by the church we were attending in Maryland while we were living there. I was 6 months pregnant with my third child, Jason, when we arrived here at New Life, and our daughters, Jennifer and Jessica, were 9 and 2. We were introduced at the New Life Christmas party that year. When we arrived the first Sunday and brought our 2-year-old to the nursery, we were greeted then by then elder Randy Brooks, who was sitting on the floor of the nursery with multiple children sitting all around him. I was surprised there was a man playing with the children in the nursery, and I thought, wow. A few weeks later, the Brooks invited us to their home for dinner. Eileen greeted us at the door and I wondered, where's Randy? We found him at the kitchen sink with his sleeves rolled up, washing the dishes. Our impression by those 2 acts of servant leadership wanted us to learn more about New Life. Most importantly, we were always blessed by the worship service and fellowship. We were warmly welcomed. When Doug asked me about my testimony and how I came to Christ, I was a little afraid to revealing my past as a single mom at age 23. Doug immediately encouraged me to tell my story, reminding me that there is no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus. At that time as well, Doug's wife, Mary Jane, was volunteering at a local ministry, Birthright, which provided peer counseling and provided resources to unwed mothers. Mary Jane soon realized that there was a gap in those services, especially the lack of sharing the hope of Christ with the gospel. Soon after that, Doug called Bethany Christian Services, a Christian adoption agency, to Fredericksburg and asked me to serve on the steering committee and then to the board. Doug also encouraged me to tell my pro-life story to help change the laws in Virginia, and thus the beginning of my pro-life work for the past 37 years. Stan, my husband, with his technical knowledge of radios and other forms of technology, immediately joined Jonathan choosing a sound system when we moved into this building. Previously to the sound system, MR would sit in the front row of our church when we were a church on Kenmore Avenue. I can still see you sitting in the front seat with a cassette player, recording Doug's sermons. Stan and I both experienced several mission trips over the years to Jamaica, West Virginia, and twice to Israel, all life-changing for us. New Life in Christ has always pointed us to Christ, always reminding us Christ was enough for our marriage and all life, for which I am truly grateful. As a member of New Life for 43 years, this 50th anniversary celebration not only is meaningful as we celebrate God's faithfulness to his church and his people, but through the years of ministry, Christ, through Pastor Doug and so many of you, really saved my life. All things passed away and everything becomes new. Doug always reminded Stan and I that we were married as long as New Life was a church. While I did not have the blessing of celebrating my 50th wedding anniversary this past January, what a gift it is to celebrate God's 50 years of faithfulness to me by placing me here for such a time as this. As Pastor Sean always tells us every Sunday, you go nowhere by accident. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. And it's